Let's see if we start. Okay. Hey everyone, this is Nigel from Math Connect Student Center, and I wanted to share a short video with you about the Accuplacer test. Recently, I've gotten a lot of requests from students to help them prepare for the Accuplacer test. It's one of the very simple exams, actually. And like I said to most students, the Accuplacer test is one of the tests that dictates how much college is going to cost for you. Many students are not aware of the seriousness of the Accuplacer, but I wanted to do this short video to help you to get the ultimate prep guide for the Accuplacer. Alright, now in this video, I'll take time to show you why most students suck on the Accuplacer test. I'm going to identify 3 simple steps that you can use to avoid spending an extra $5,000 for college. I'm going to show you how you can master the test like a pro in just a few weeks. And I'll show you how you can get ahead and complete your degree in no extra time. And when all of that is through, I'm going to give you a free gift. That's my gift to you as a form of gratitude for you just listening this video. Okay, now what is the Accuplacer test? The Accuplacer test is a placement test used by many colleges, some four-year institutions or some community colleges, to dictate where do they start you in your coursework. The test primarily measures math and reading and writing. It's not one of those tests that, most of the people would consider to be a major test because not a lot of publicity is given to the Accuplacer. The Accuplacer is it's developed by an organization called College Board, the same organization that develops the SAT and the ACT that we teach over here. But the Accuplacer, which has gotten relatively a significant number of new inquiries at our office recently, has been causing some spinning heads. And I said to myself, why not do a short video and demystify some of the bubbles that exist out there and help students to understand how they can master this test in a relatively short time. Now, why is the Accuplacer such a critical test? Now, it's so critical because, number one, it's not a test that you can pass or fail. The Accuplacer test is a test used to measure where on a continuum do you start. And students treat the test lightly. And this is why most students suck at it. Number one, they don't do any amount of practice. Now, most of you have been out of school for a long time. And many times, some of the topics that they might ask questions on, things like fractions and decimals and percentages and quadratic equations or one-step equations, etc., on the math section or on the reading section, asking you to generate the sentence detail, and they'll ask you to do inferencing, etc. And that challenges a lot of us because the amount of years that you finish 8th grade or high school or the amount of years that you've basically attended formal education makes it difficult for you. So no practice is given to the test, and when people hear, oh, you have to do just a short placement test, they think it's just, just a smile and just go sit down and do the test. And that's why many people cost themselves an additional $5,000 to $10,000 at a time after taking the Accuplacer. And because people do not fully understand what the test entails and what's covered in the test, it's another reason why students take the test lightly, get poor scores, and are unable to start at the college level that they're supposed to start at. Lastly, a lot of the material that comes in the test are things that you've done in elementary school and in high school. It's arithmetic, it's basic algebra, and it's basic geometry. There's some amount of college algebra done on the test also. And that's why the test is such an interactive test that gives you a chance to actually show what you're competent with and where you are on the scheme of things. Let me explain that a little further. Now, a college placement test versus a college entrance test are two significant tests. I attended 4 colleges. I attended Cyril Potter College of Education. I attended University of Guyana. I attended Washington Adventist University, and I attended University of Liverpool. Now, I have 4 different degrees. It doesn't make me better than anybody else. At our center, I teach every student with the understanding that they're here to learn, and I want to give them a fair shot at life. Now, a placement test doesn't help you to get into an institution. You take a placement test after you're accepted to dictate what class you will start at. And the placement test primarily is something that helps to measure or to determine your skills and competencies. It also dictates which would be the first course that you'd start with. Let's look at math. Let's look at math. And let's look at Math 010. This is a non-credit class. It's a non-college credit course, but it's a 3-hour credit class. Meaning, on your college transcript for your undergraduate, this class will not show up. But you will have to do 3 hours of this class per week. And what do? They do pre-algebra in this class. It's like the equivalent of 8th grade math, where you'll do things like fractions and percentages, and you'll do things like finding the greatest common denominator and orders of operation, etc. It's a basic math course. And on your college transcript, it doesn't reflect because it's not college level math. College level math begins at Math 101. So between Math 010 and Math 101, you'll have to complete this class, this class, this class, then you'll get to what we call college credit math. Now, let's say each of the credits for this class is $300, and I'm trying to push it here. I'm trying to use what we call an out-of-state tuition benchmark. Or I use a private college because many people wanting to go to a private college or want to go to a great school where they can get a great degree. That class costs you $300 per credit times 3, which is $900 for this class. So you'll spend $900 for Math 101, then you'll spend $900 for Math 111, and then you'll spend $900 for Math 1012. At this point here, it's 9 threes, $2,700 in non-credit classes. Before you take the very first math class, that is called college level math. Now, at this point, you would have already spent 1 semester, 2 semesters, 3 semesters in college. This would equivalent, the first 2 would equivalent to 1 academic year. This would be a year and a half before you do your first college credit for class. So automatically right there you see you would have spent an extra year in school had you taken time and learned about the Accuplacer exam. Let's look on the reading side. Now, on the reading side, we have English as well as reading fundamentals. Now, fundamental reading are these classes that sometimes drive some people crazy. In particular, immigrants who are a big part of the audience who come over here frequently and ask for help with the Accuplacer. If you would have come from the Caribbean, if you would have come from Africa, if you would have come from the Middle East or any of the places where we see most of our students from, come in asking about doing reading. They're doing a class named Reading 026, and they're complaining because the material is so elementary, and they're asked to read these books and then to write small sentences, etc. Now, if I were to measure this along the same way we measure the math, we have reading. Where's my cursor? Okay. Reading 026, then reading 027, then reading 029. After you've completed that group of classes, which is called fundamental reading, then you have English 001, English 002, English 003. Now, none of these classes here are college credits. So you would have paid 900 plus 900 plus 900 plus 900 plus 900 plus 900, which would equivalent to 6 classes at $900 before you have your very first college credit. A total, if we have $300, sorry, $900 for each class, and you multiply that times 6, that is $5,400 you would have paid in non-college credit class before you do your first college class, which is called English 111 or English 101 at some schools. This is the first class that would be counted towards your college degree. And as I said to students all the time, the major difference between the Accuplacer exam preparation and just walking in and hoping that it's an easy exam and doing it is the difference between 3 or 2 extra years of college against starting on time, completing on time, and moving on to your dream career. I've worked with so many students, helping them to understand that none of these fundamental or developmental classes actually will benefit you. They will only cost you. And in that way, all you would have done is lose $5,000 in a very short space of time. So, what's the solution? The solution comes down to practicing enough so that you can go into the Accuplacer exam and place well. Now, the Accuplacer exam is an exam that is adjusted to your competency level. So when you start the exam, it's what we call an adaptive test. It adapts to what you know. So let's say the first question they ask you is a question in algebra, in the math section, and they ask you a 2-step equation, and you don't know that. Instead of them progressing along the algebra line of questions, they're going to adjust the question based on your answer, and then they'll go to pre-algebra, and they'll ask you a question on something like fractions or decimal, or they'll ask you questions on greater and lesser denominator, or basic addition and multiplication, 3-digit subtraction, 3-digit multiplication, place value, orders of operation. These are all taught in elementary school and in high school. And absolutely none of these things will go towards your college credit. But if you would have prepared effectively for the test, you can benefit. And that's why we've made this free gift of 100 practice math and 100 practice reading and writing questions available for you. It's a free gift. Why I'm giving it? Because I'm an educator. I've always been an educator as my number one career. I've done a few other things, but when I graduated from college in 1996, I graduated as a high school teacher. And ever since then, I've been working, teaching in some capacity or the other. Today, I work full-time as the education director here at Matt Connect's Tutoring Center. And I've been seeing too many students coming in here asking for help on the Accuplacer. Wherein, if they were to be guided effectively in how to master the test, they can excel in a short space of time. I've put together this free kit and I make it available to you because I know if you've practiced enough, you can master it. So I'm giving you off the top 100 practice questions that you can use and master. Or I can make available to you a course that I teach over here. I'll make it available to you online so you can access it from anywhere in the world. It consists of 16 lessons in math and 16 lessons in reading. And it consists of 16 complete drill set that comes with its answer key. In these drill sets or in these lessons, I will walk you through step by step the material. I will show you sample question and I will give you a guide in how to do them in a very organized fashion. There's some audio, there's some video, and you'll have all of the worksheets to do your practice material. Now, this course is not a once and I don't make this course available regularly. But within the last month, it's now September 1. It's Labor Day. Today's a holiday. And I'm coming in here on this holiday to do this because next week I have 7 new students who are coming in for Accuplacer help. And I said to these students, like I'm saying to you, you really don't need to pay $75 per hour like a student who's prepping for the SAT if you're doing the Accuplacer. You can literally take the material, do the practice in your home, or do the practice wherever you are. Once you have access to the internet, you can download the lessons, download the material, go through the material, and do your practice. Once you practice, you can master it. And when you do that, you can go into the exam and master it. Now, this would be my suggestion to you. Number 1, you can take advantage of the free 100 practice questions that we've made available to you. There's absolutely no cost to that. You can have it. It's my gift to you because I think everyone should have an equal access to education. Number 2, you can take advantage of our complete 16 module course. You can do the practice as much as possible. The course comes with a little over 1,000 practice questions. That's enough practice to help you to master the step-by-step process, to master the material so that you can go into the Accuplacer exam and master it. Now, unlike the SAT is a timed exam. Over here, I run a 10-week SAT class. For the students who I work with one-on-one who would pay like $120 per hour. They would come in here and they would work with me 2 hours at a time for 10 consecutive weeks and they'll get the practice material, etc. And that's for a timed exam. The Accuplacer is not a timed exam. You can take as much time as you want to do it. The challenge is this, it's a computerized exam. And once you pass a question, you cannot go back and change your answer. Number 2, you have all day long to do the exam. You can take as much time as possible, mastering and ensuring that you have answered it perfectly so that you score well. There's no pass or fail score on the Accuplacer. There is what we call a continuum. And students who've been able to score and show they have certain competencies or proficiency, they start at a higher level of math or English than others. I've recently spoke to a young man from Ethiopia. And after speaking to this young man, I really felt a little irritated. We were doing this class here where students would come for 5 weeks, and during the 5 weeks they will do all 16 lessons, and it costs somewhere in the vicinity of $8.99 per student. And I said to myself, I think we can make this available to a wider audience, give more people a chance to succeed in life. The young man that I am talking about works at a gas station. He makes $200 a week. And if you have to take from your $200 a week, $800 to pay for a class, it's difficult. Now, I'm a businessman, I'm a teacher, but then at the same time, I am a human. And it's unfair when you hear the things that separate some people from education. This young man from Ethiopia has made his journey across the ocean, has done everything he possibly can and his family can to come to the US to school. But he dropped out of school because he didn't have enough money to finish school. And he did 3 years at a local community college, borrowing money, spending all the money he had, and now he's wanting me to help him with the Accuplacer so that he can go and test again and succeed. I've helped scores and scores of students test and succeed. And I know our method work. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to make the method available to more people. I wanted to show people exactly how we ace it over here and why we are given word of mouth referral continually to build a successful tutoring center. On the average week, we tutor over 50 students. And these are students who almost all of them came by word of mouth. We have 25 students in our SAT prep. We have about 12 students in our Accuplacer and about 50 students in our one-on-one program. I'm not bragging that we have a very successful center. I'm wanting to say this. If you wanted to excel and you wanted to save yourself an additional $5,000, take advantage of the complete course. There would be a link below this video that would take you exactly to the homepage where you can do either of two things. Number one, you could get the 100 free practice question. Or number two, you can get the full course. And there's a small fee attached to that. It's your choice. I am making it available to you, and it's up to you to follow this plan, master the material, and ace the test. I've seen many students done it, and I wanted to commend you because I know you too can ace the Accuplacer. Okay? This is Nigel saying have a great day.